Chapter 5.
This is crazy. This is just flat out insane.
His voice just plainly stated the obvious. We all knew what was going on. I didn't know why we needed this little weekend update. Don't worry, we'll be out of here soon. My voice tried to make him feel better, but he could clearly hear the insincerity that I felt. I had work to do, and he was just sitting around explaining the obvious to me.
Why don't we just leave? That would make sense. We would only be one kid short. It isn't gonna make a big deal.
His voice was shrill and panicked. It made me want to slap him, so I did.
What?
So I did, yeah. You don't know what he'll do to us if we return missing a kid. Probably kill us. Bang! Just like that. No second thoughts, not even a hint of remorse. That was just honesty. There was no lies in that statement. I hated the statement for that exact reason. Why was interacting with people so difficult? That's a real statement for me.
We've been here too long. Staying here is suicide.
What makes you think that? Surprisingly, he didn't even think about the response, as if he had predicted what I would say.
We can't hold off the police forever. Soon they'll be storming in here and our consequences would be horrible. Most likely death. After they torture us to find out our secrets.
He did have some good points, but I can't let him know that. He has to think that there is hope. Too much hope is bad. It makes people overconfident. But no hope makes people sad and just give up on life. Like he has right now. Which isn't exactly good. But just the right amount of hope makes people think that there is still something to hang on to, even if it actually isn't. This will make them keep going in hope of a chance, even if there isn't one. Police won't be here for a while. Not with the bomb threats. They wouldn't dare attack here until they are all defused. It would be stupid. Sometimes even the government surprises me. Can you believe that? The dictator. So wait, where is this country? What country is this in?
I think this takes place in like Neshoba, I think.
Try to explain.
I don't know.
North Korea?
You don't
This
know.
can't be the United States. This has to be like.
Well, remember the pledge at the beginning?
It's Wyoming.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the pledge. Oh
Oh yeah, that.
the pledge. The dictator can make some. I can't say it. The composure. Whew. The dictator can make some messed up decisions. The hope I had given should suffice for any normal person, but not for this paranoid little freak.
What the heck? I didn't do anything.
I bully you.
But what if the police defuse all the bombs? Then they will be on us immediately and we have no more hostages. Nothing to keep them at bay.
How is this guy still panicked? Well, I guess some people just normally lack courage. Trying to reassure this guy was exhausting me. They don't pay me enough to do this. I figured if this guy didn't cling to some hope soon, he'd be useless.
I'm sorry. They have like a school of children. How do they not have any hostages?
We're gonna bomb all the
blast him in the
hostages.
head.
See?
I had no idea what to say to him. So for the first time in this conversation, I decided to let instincts take over. Well, that's why we get out of here before that happens. I patted him on the shoulder and then walked away. I was thirsty and tired. I really needed to rest. I hadn't slept at all yet, and I needed to stop rebellions amongst the kids. They were probably being very restless. Maybe we could rob them of their hope and give it to these guys. Then, speaking of the devil, two of my men came bursting into the office. At first, I was confused at why they were leaving their post to come here. Then I realized it. I saw the kid they were holding. I didn't notice him because he just calmly walked along with them, which is an odd thing for kids to do. One of them immediately spoke.
Well, there's this commotion in our room. Some kids attacked us. We got distracted, and then we noticed this kid, and he wasn't in the room beforehand. He was choking some other kid.
Wow! Whoa. The two threw him between me and them. Then they immediately pointed their guns at him. He slowly lifted his head. He began to glare at me with a blank expression, but I immediately noticed his face. It was extremely disgusting. I felt sorry to the kid. I wondered if he was ugly because of one of my men. I could see that happening. It made sense. So, kid, you just sneak into the classroom. In the middle of nowhere, you disappear. Well, kid, you have a lot of explaining to do. Now, what is your name so we can begin our little session? My voice remained calm. With most people, this created anger, which usually created truth. But this kid didn't seem angry at all.
Oof.
Is this some kind of joke?
He said it as smoothly and calmly as I would have.
Because you can just stop. No one is laughing.
I didn't know what he meant when he said joke, but I figured I'd go along with it. Well, I've got a good joke. Why did the boy sit in front of me and not provide his name? Come on, kid, you should know this one. No? Because he wanted his brains blown out.
Oof.
You got him!
And then he says, "No, you," and then he shoots his own brains out.
Then I began to laugh my fake laugh. My sarcastic laugh. It was one of the best noises I made. I really should trademark it. I'd be rich.
You know, that joke would have been funny, but you really need to add punchlines to your jokes. You know, so that they're actually funny. I mean, didn't you notice that you were the only person that laughed? That is usually a bad sign.
He kept his same expression, blank and lifeless. This comment did not amuse me, so I decided it was time to just get to business. Let's just get serious. What is your name? After I said that, he paused. A long pause. Almost as if he was thinking, trying to remember his own name. This kid made me laugh on the inside. So what, do you not have a name or something?
No, of course I do. My name is Zachary. Zachary Fillenheimer.
He said it like a question. But honestly, I didn't care, so I flat out ignored his tone. So, Zachary, at one point you're not in the classroom, and then suddenly you're in the classroom. How do you explain this? Oh, I said it slowly and calmly.
That has just a simple answer. I was in the classroom the whole time. I was always there. They just never noticed me.
After him saying this, I looked at one of the guys who brought him in. He shook his head, simply saying he knew, and I believed him. Kid, I'm not playing games here. Do I look like I'm playing games?
Kind of.
But maybe we should play a game. It would be fun. It's called Tell Me Where You Were and How You Got In, or I will pull out your spine and make you eat it.
I see issues with that plan.
That seemed to shut the kid up. He stopped talking and simply looked at me, as if analyzing his situation, as if trying to find an escape. But trying to find one of those would be a simple mistake.
Fine, okay, I was in the library. I snuck out, and there was this distraction going on in the classroom, so I simply snuck in, and then they saw me, and here we are now, okay?
I almost felt like laughing. He was lying, that was obvious. But why call him out on it? That ruins the fun of the game. And he has nerves lying to me now, and I was okay with it for now anyways. Okay, kid, well, let's check out on your story in the records. After I said that, he began to pale. He was scared of me finding some truth that he was hiding. One that I would find. Don't worry, this will only take a second. Why don't we don't want any liars in here now, do we? I slowly strolled over to the main computer and sat down. I opened up the records of kids who go here and their information. Then I figured to let it stall. I slowly typed in his name, taking my time with every letter. Let the suspense continue. And when I finally finished and pressed the big enter button, I was unsurprised. His name didn't show up. Kid, what kind of game do you think we're playing here?
Monopoly.
Tell me who you actually are, and why you are here, or I will kill you right here and right now. My patience had flown south for the winter. Epic line.
That's the line.
That right there. So that's the line for the next. That's the meme for the next one. It's a picture of a bird and it's bad guy's anger.
It's just Chef from Total Drama Island, like on a bird flying south.
yeah. I was tired of this. I just wanted to find out who this kid was and leave. I didn't need all these distractions. I pulled out the gun and pointed it at the kid. A normal kid would have began to sob and whine like a little baby. They would fall on their hands and knees and beg for mercy. But this kid had some messed up emotions. He just sat there and stared in silence, watching my every move. Then, he finally spoke.
I don't go here. I'm visiting my sister. Her name is Clara. There is just a misunderstanding here. Please, just let me go back.
Well, now I had to check out this news story. I was getting bored. If this kid's news story is a sham, I will blow all his brains out. I just want all of them, obviously. I don't
You're not
want
gonna make him eat his spine? That's boring.
Then I was. Then I will dance on it for good measure. Maybe take a video of it and send it to the police. It would definitely get my message across to them. The more I thought about it, the better it sounded. I'll do it if this story is a myth, so I'll most definitely do it. I sat down at the computer and looked at the screen. Where would something like this be stored? I racked my brain, but couldn't think right. So I just checked recent things, and sure enough, the most recent thing was a note about him. I skimmed it, and saw that his story checked out. Well, kid, your story checks out. Bring him to the classroom. After that, 2 men who brought him here stared at me with blank expressions.
But, wait, he did bad things. Doesn't he get a punishment?
I almost cited this idiotic response, but I held it in. I think keeping him trapped here is punishment enough. They didn't argue after that. They just grabbed him and dragged him away, shaking their heads. Good 2 knuckleheads, issues settled. Many more to go.
Sir, you have to see this.
I came from behind me. I turned around and looked at my short little associate. But his face looked grim, so I held back my guilty comment.
Everything you say is like targeting me, and it's really rude.
No, it's Carter.
He had a tablet in his hand. Clearly this was a big emergency. He held the tablet screen up to me. It was the news, and I was being stared at by a reporter, as if she knew this was all my fault.
Reports say that at this high school, Robert Wade High School, there's a bomb planted. People are being held hostage in here. The bomb squad is currently entering in order to try to disable it. We don't know how this will go, but we hope it goes smoothly. There is no word from the police, but the operation is going on as we speak.
Well, these guys weren't very smart. They just announced their plan on the news. Maybe that needs to learn. They need to learn about classified information. Don't worry, I'll handle this with ease. I casually walked in a stroll towards the main table in the room. When I arrived, I opened one of the drawers and pulled out a big red button. How fitting with the situation that is. Robert Wade High School, huh? Well, when will they learn that these extra school distractions can be destroyed so easily?
Sir, what are you talking about? The bombs are all fake. They will figure it out then we will be screwed. That button will do nothing.
I chuckled a little bit. I might have switched out some of the fake bombs with replacements. I looked at his face. He had fear in his face.
But the superiors don't know about this. You will be in big trouble.
I chuckled even more. What my superiors don't know are the only things keeping this operation going. I looked down at the button in my hand. The bright red spot in the middle was speaking to me. It was saying, "Push me." So I pushed the button.
So I did.
My assistant gasped. I watched as the newscast took a turn for the worse. A big red cloud of dust appeared where the school had been. The news reporter began screaming and freaked out. Everything was in chaos. Clearly, this wasn't wasn't the outcome they had expected. But as this was happening, I couldn't help but crack a smile.